platforms. Anyways, moving on to, I guess since this is PC versus Mac, we should get into the whole iVerse stuff going on.
Talking about that event coming up.
You know, all of this stuff is so interconnected, it's not even funny. The top half of this page is interconnected, so we can take it in any order we want. And since you brought it up, you know, the conference, oh, it's on the, what was it originally, the 7th, now it's the 1st. You know, everybody's speculating about what they're going to talk about. It's like, are they talking about Apple TV becoming iTV? Are they talking about new iPods? Are they nobody knows, and I really could care less. I would love to see Steve Jobs get on stage Wednesday and say, Apple TV is now iTV, just so that company in the across the pond could sue him. Because the reason Apple TV isn't called iTV is because there's another company over in Europe who owns that name. And for the first time in history, Apple decided they didn't want to get sued by stealing somebody else's name. So if they're going to change their mind on that, they must have a good reason. It's like, oh, I don't think, I want y'all's 2 cents on this. Personally, I don't think Wednesday is about iTV. I think iTV is sometime next year. I think they're more focused on other stuff right now. I think they're going to refresh the iPods. I think iTV is part of, because if you look at that patent for the iMac / OS X device, which is another patent the patent office should not approve. And I'm not saying this because this is Apple. I'm saying this because it isn't a unique device. This new iMac innovation patent sounds a lot like the tablet / laptop that IBM / Lenovo had, sorry, Lenovo, not IBM, they're separate companies now, that Lenovo had at CES, where you take the screen off and it's a Linux slate. You dock the screen and it's a Windows laptop. It's like, that sounds a lot like this. This patent that they're trying to patent. Like, okay, so Apple's doing something somebody else is doing in almost an identical way, and they've invented it. What else is new? My honest assessment when I look at that patent and I hear all these rumors about what supposedly iTV is going to be, and iTV is miraculously alive again after basically being dead for years. Google gets up and says, we're doing Google TV. So all of a sudden Apple feels they shouldn't abandon the Apple TV line. They should actually reinvest in it and revitalize it.
Well, that could be just talk. Steve Jobs actually said that he doesn't even like the whole Apple TV kind of thing, that it's just sort of a hobbyist, and they might update it just to keep those hobbyists happy.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I'm hoping he's wrong.
Well, no, here's the thing. The rumor is that Apple TV is going to become another iOS device, not unlike Google TV is a companion Android OS. It's not Android OS, but it's a companion OS to Android OS, and that they can work together. And I think Apple took a look at that and go, wait a minute, we're about creating this whole little bubble universe people live in. Why didn't we think of that? And I think they've realized that, hey, if we can get Apple TVs on things, and if we can remake the iMac to have an iOS mode, we can create this interlink environment in your house where, through the magic of iOS, as long as you're in an Apple household, your house has this magic media experience. And when I look at all this stuff, I'm like, oh, they're going to do that. But before I say why I think that's a mistake to go that route, what do y'all think about that? that might be what Apple's gearing up to do.
That worries the hell out of me.
Why particularly? Why particularly?
It's too much control. You know, it's just, you know, it's just, once, if Apple gets that kind of monopoly, I don't really see an easy way besides the government stepping in and stopping it for that to stop. It'll be, you know, it's, people, you know, won't be able to, you know, because if you do one thing that's not Apple, it's everything, you know, might not work.
That's pretty much the way Apple is now. They just don't have their hand in that arena yet.
So I'm saying if they do get all that, it'll be pretty scary.
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons I think it's a bad idea. And the other reason is, honestly, I honestly think the Android route's the better way to go there, just because it's, like you say, it's not controlled by one company. And the advantage to going that route is everybody has to work with everybody else, because otherwise nobody's going to buy their thing. And in the Apple world, they don't live in that universe. It's like, the funny thing I always find about Apple products, especially when Apple starts setting bubble universes up like that, or and their little iVerse envisioned fancy, is whenever you try and bring something in from the parallel universe of not Apple, the iVerse has a conniption. It goes, there are no parallel universes, the whole world is the iVerse. It's like it can't see this other universe. It goes nuts. And that's one of the things that my big problem with iTunes isn't that Apple wants to have absolute control over it. It's that they don't want to open the marketplace side of it up to people. Which would make them a lot of money, in my opinion. But I guess they'd rather sell iPods, and iPhones and other shit like that. Although I'm not sure Google TV is really gonna take off. It
depends on how they do it.
Well, okay. Here's the catch-22 on that, and this is related to the net neutrality, which I hope we get to have this week. We didn't get it last week. We didn't get it the week. Anyways, for that to really take off and become the model that people use, we have to set it up where it's a la carte, where you get rid of the middleman, and this device is your link device. This is your chosen link to that stuff, which is one of the ideas behind Apple TV and other devices like that. God damn it, phone, stop it. But it's, you don't succeed if you don't play with old media, which Google TV is doing. They're playing with Dish Network. But on the same token, by playing with Dish Network, you know, it's a bit like what's happening to Android. Android's playing nice with the cell phone carriers and basically turned the future of Android over to the cell phone carriers. Barring some interesting twists that could happen in the coming decade, the cell phone carriers are going to determine what features make it into the end user's version of Android, not the Android platform itself. And I see something very similar like that happening with these set-top boxes, which are supposed to free us from the cable and satellite TV companies, instead being controlled by the cable and satellite TV companies.
You do have a bit of a point there, but honestly, as long as it gives a good experience to browse the net on your TV, and it's not too much more expensive, I still see it being a popular thing.
I see it being a popular thing, but I see it. What I'm worried is it'll be more of a lateral sideways move than a true innovation push technology and what the end user has access to forward. It's like if we switch television to TCP/IP protocol without taking advantage of any of the things that come with that change, all we did is change the protocol the cable network uses. That's it. We didn't improve it. We didn't make it better. We didn't take advantage of everything that comes with that. We just we're doing the same thing in a new wrapper, which, okay.
It's not a wireless device, so Google's not going to be permitting it to be restricted to just a certain set of things that the cable providers want it to be. The way they demoed Google TV, it really looked like just a portal to the entire internet. And I don't think that anybody's going to be able to sell it if it's anything more restricted. And I don't think they're even going to try it, because then it's not Google TV.
Well, you say that, but look at how the cable and satellite companies handle DVRs. Here's what I see happening. I see it being Google TV, but I see I see Dish figuring out, oh, we should charge $50 a month for the Google TV box, or something like that. Which this is like Google TV. I think is the 10th attempt at bringing this technology to the TV. A little known fact: the first people to try and do it were Time Warner, that interactive TV channel. It's one of those things nobody has ever been able to pull off, because they try and charge it like old media, and they try and make it and the end user goes, well, yeah, it's easier than over here, but it's not worth that much extra money. No, I don't need that. It's just eventually what winds up happening.
I can see that. That's why I'm just hoping that it's an inexpensive service.
Honestly, awesome. What I want it to be is a free service. If you get it from your cable or satellite company, it's free. I want it to be billed like TiVo, where if I buy the box myself, it's a fee. If I get it from the DVR I get from the cable company or satellite company, with obvious exceptions, for Verizon's one, Comcast is one, but most of them, they go, sign this 2-year agreement and the box is free. We're not charging you a fee for the DVR. It's just, this is the box we've given you, but it's not an extra fee. It's not as good as a TiVo, but it saves you the TiVo fee. Which is the way it should be done if it's going to be through the provider. If not, getting it a la carte entirely independent, we'll see. And we still don't know how that's working. They haven't released that. I think it's supposed to come out this Christmas, isn't it?
I can't remember.
I forget.
I got distracted by the whole Google Fiber thing. Pick me, Google.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the 4 towns that nobody lives near.
I might be one of those.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.